What's up? Joe here with TNB to talk about our favorite Italian. Nope, everyone's actual favorite Italian. We're here with another Assassin's Creed game. We talked about what made Assassin's Creed 2 great, so now we're here to talk about the next game in the Ezio Trilogy, Brotherhood. So let's jump right into another one that is many people's favorite of the franchise. This cinematic video is one of my favorites of the franchise. Seeing Rodrigo again shows that Ezio letting him live wasn't the best decision. Seeing the new main villain gave us some questions, but then there's this moment. The moment when Cesare is trying to act tough, but Ezio puts him in his place with less people at his side than Cesare. Seeing the numerous assassins make their entrance really helps set up the excitement for what you get to do in this game. The setting is kind of different in this one. Instead of having numerous areas, you have just one, Rome. This was received a bit mixed, but I'm one of the people that likes this. The fast travel system was improved, so this made having one larger map more tolerable. Even though it was only one area, it was diverse enough to not feel plain or just all around the same. Some areas are nice and others look run down. This one also has more verticality. There are numerous mountains and higher areas in general. There's the same amount of world interaction and small amount added to the parkour system and the world in general, which was a nice touch. Also, unlike the previous game, this one takes place over the scale of a few years as opposed to a few decades. The whole area improves as much as you choose. I love seeing the city slowly become more lively and some places get almost a full remodel. The music is still awesome, made by the same guy again, so it's no surprise that the music is just as good. While I love the music better in the previous game, it fit better in this one. The music fits the setting almost every time and definitely more than the last one, since this one doesn't have some random, almost rock music. Now this game is pretty short, so there isn't as much development, but it's still awesome. This one picks up right where the last one left off. Mario comes and gets Ezio, and they debate on getting rid of the apple, which I like hearing their thoughts. I love how in the beginning half of the game, things seem to be going downhill fast. Ezio's having strained relations with numerous people, and having to try and hold them all together. One of my favorite plot lines in this one is actually between Ezio and Machiavelli. He doesn't hold back his anger for Ezio not killing Rodrigo. It amplifies his point even more when this douche storms the villa and kills Mario. There's no time to mourn when innocent people are getting killed. I love how Ezio is focused on helping others while having actual bullet wounds and bleeding out as he runs around. But back to the Machiavelli subplot. I really liked how much more of a major character he is in this one. Even though he can be somewhat annoying, I love how Ezio still respects him and lets him speak his mind within reason. Even when it looks like Machiavelli is a traitor, Ezio still waits to find more evidence. I love how in general some of the side characters from previous games have a lot more time in this one. Levope and Bart feel way more important here. Last game they were basically tutorials, but here they feel more like characters. Levope is hell-bent on proving Machiavelli is a traitor, and I love his passion for the Creed, is what makes him almost kill him. Even when he finds out he is wrong, he isn't angry, rather relieved. The game has a lot of subtle development. I love seeing how Ezio continues to be an awesome person, respecting women and helping children, while still being a man whore. Modern day in this one is really awesome. Oh, look, there I am still in the minority here. I love seeing the villa in modern day. You can come out of the Animus whenever you'd like, which is cool, but I'd like the conversations email even more. For people who never did this, may have missed a lot of small but very neat details, like finding out what happened to Katerina, or what I thought was awesome is seeing that Lucy was emailing Desmond's dad, who is more of a character in later games. The story overall is paced rather quickly, since it is short, but I still had a blast. You jump from one section to the next. This is especially true in the last two sequences where it literally goes from one mission right into the next one. This game adds a good amount of lore as well. We have more messages from Subject 16, and the ending in the Temple of Juno you can hear and see so much, like the ones who came before mentioning they had a sixth sense, and the sixth being knowledge. You really see their opinions of humans as well. The characters have some slight changes in appearance, but to be honest, the jump in visuals change the characters more than the outfits. Cesare is the biggest new character added, and his appearance is awesome. It fits the time while looking menacing. His armor shows his willingness to fight, and he's similar to Rodrigo in that he only wants power, but I like how he's different. In many ways, he's like a younger Ezio, so no surprises when he loses. He's brash and prideful, both traits Ezio had been accused of having. The man is even so horny, he taps his own sister. Sorry, but keep the Game of Thrones stuff away from my assassins, please. Anyway, I really like how he views the other Templar. He has no respect for Rodrigo, which helps amplify him as a villain. If this dude isn't even slightly intimidated by his father, he might be serious. Oh look, he murdered his dad too.
You to die! You die! Where is the piece of Eden?
Stop! I know where it is!
This dude is totally unhinged and crazy. At the end of the day, he is kind of a spoiled brat that can't be told no. Basically that obnoxious kid crying in the middle of the store. We mentioned in the story section about these side characters, and they were some of my favorites. It's really nice to see Bart married to a person who can tolerate and loves his crazy personality. Of course, it's always a joy to see Leonardo. I like how they changed him up a bit in this one. He's no longer living large. Rather, he's kind of poor. He also has to meet you in private. I like how he became a vendor, essentially. Normally this would annoy me a bit, but the way it was done was awesome. We see Ezio care for him and more than willing to help his friend in any way possible. I liked La Volpe already, but in this one I loved him. I loved seeing how seriously he took the possibility of a traitor in the Creed, and wasn't scared to do what he thought needed to be done, and instantly let it go once he discovered he was wrong. He immediately takes Machiavelli away, and happiness. Machiavelli is in here a significant amount compared to the previous game. I liked how he isn't afraid to speak his mind no matter what. While this can be annoying, it's pretty respectable, and Ezio agrees. When Ezio becomes the leader of the assassins, he tells Machiavelli how much he values him and his opinions. You also get to see how Machiavelli reasons when he flips on Ezio for not killing Rodrigo, but we also get to see his love for Ezio and the Creed when you learn he wasn't a traitor, rather, he was going above and beyond to keep Ezio and the Creed safe. We also get a lot more of Ezio's family here. Well, the ones who are alive at least. Maria begins speaking and goes right back to her old personality. Claudia is even better here instead of just being a person we go to for our money. She becomes even more independent. She takes over the brothel, and I like the added stress this caused for Ezio and with the tension here. She wants to run it while Ezio is dead against her doing so, and both sides made good points. She runs the brothel and later finally becomes a member of the Assassins, which was a great addition since she basically was a member already.
We here dedicate our lives to protecting the freedom of humanity. Mario, our father, and our brother once stood around this fire, fighting off the darkness. Now, I offer the choice to you. Join us.
Ezio doesn't really have much growth as a character compared to the last game, but he does learn a good amount. He learns that he is more of a leader than he believes when everyone wants him to lead the Assassins. He learns how to juggle the opinions of others and follow his gut even more by believing Machiavelli within reason and continuing to look for the good in people. He still only likes to kill when necessary. He wanted revenge, but he knew it had to be at the right time and waited for it. He doesn't even get angry when Rodrigo dies. The main antagonist dies of poison. Ezio is calm. I have expected him to be dancing on this guy's corpse. The modern day characters are basically the same as well. Rebecca's still cool. Lucy is cool, even if she ends up as a pincushion. Sean is useful, but still a dick. Desmond has a good amount here. The dialogue for Lucy and Desmond has a huge improvement in this one and really helps their relationship grow before they kill it. Literally. She is genuinely concerned when they are in the tunnels and when he has the bleeding effect, and holy ancestors does he get it a lot in this game. The last game it was minor and only one party plays Altair, but here's almost every time you're out of the Animus. I thought Desmond was okay, but by the end of this one I enjoyed most of the team, except for this cock. It really is cool to see him trying to stop Abstergo and doing what he can for the team. You actually get concerned when he passes out after he penetrates Lucy, and not in the fun way. Hearing that he has to be put in the Animus, you begin to worry more since he's slowly following Subject 16 to beginning to lose control. The missions and gameplay overall are way more fine-tuned in this one. I love it when a game learns from its previous, already great game. The missions are very similar to the previous, but a bit more explosive as a whole. The set pieces were amazing, like when Ezio was destroying an automatic gun made by Leonardo da Vinci, or even the final massive set piece of Ezio running through a war. The gameplay takes the somewhat broken counter mechanic and breaks it even more in an amazing way. I feel like this ties with the story a bit, since Ezio is becoming a master assassin. It only makes sense that he kills people even faster. Assassin's Creed has never been Dark Souls, so the simplicity of the game is nice, and it makes you feel even more like an assassin. We'll speed up this clip a bit so you can see the destruction of this ability. This game also introduces assassin recruits to help do your bidding. I like that there are people you help, and there's a decent amount of variety of cutscenes each time you recruit them. Regardless if you like it or not, there is a lot of quality here. The recruit cutscenes, the missions you can send them on, the fact that they can die, and my favorite is the scene when they become master assassins. There is even a decent amount of variety in how they look and how they can look. This game can be overwhelming for how much stuff there is to do. The map can be incredibly clustered. I'd suggest trying one of each and see what you prefer. I personally always made sure to get the viewpoints as well as the towers, since they increased the number of assassins I could have and how much of the map I could see. The customization is the same here, a lot still and more refined. There are some new weapons, which is nice to have more ways to drop some bodies. I used the crossbow almost as much as the hidden blade in this one. I also made sure that I had a sword for when I had to fight. But we don't need to show this massacre again. This game is over 10 years old and still holds up and is a blast to play through every time, and it's still one of my favorites. It adds to everything and improves in almost every way. The game as a whole looks better than the previous ones. Everything is just upgraded. The story leaves you jaw-dropped and anxious for the next one right away. The Ezio Trilogy for me got better as they went on, and are great examples of the good old days for Assassin's Creed. Well, that's it for today. Let me know down below what you guys thought of the game. Did you like Rodrigo or Cesare more? Do you like what they did with the combat, or do you prefer the combat in AC2? Let's talk about everything Ezio down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Now stay nerdy and keep binging.